In the land down under, Aussies generally only want two things from their cars. They gotta be big and they gotta be fast. And this Chrysler 300 SRT Satin Vapor Edition ticks both those boxes with its absolutely huge exterior and equally massive 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Hemi V8 up front. This thing makes 465 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque from factory. And to put that into perspective, the FPV GTF makes 470 horsepower. But does the American sedan have the same thrills? Let's find out. Now, driving this Chrysler 300 Satin Vapor Edition. This is a limited edition car, so there's only 130 of these made. Didn't really get anything of note though, unfortunately. Basically, everything that this special edition got is basically cosmetic stuff. You know, you got sort of leather and suede SRT seats. You got an updated infotainment system, so this is the Uconnect system. And really, you know, that's it. You got a couple of special colors you could have got this car in, and some blacked out badging in that. I will say though that the blacked out accents really do give it a nice look. You've also got these 20-inch wheels for this car that also give it a good aggressive look and a nice stance. When you actually have a good look at this thing, I actually think it does look quite nice. Now, it kind of does depend on what angle you look at it. I do think the front end of this car is a little bit soft, but I really do like the rear end of it, and sort of the back quarter has a nice aggressive sort of squatted look to it. Now, before we continue with this SRT Satin Vapor Edition, please go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell notifications button so you do get notified every week that we do an upload. I have reviewed the original first gen SRT that was here in Australia, and you know, there is a lot of similarity obviously, but this car definitely feels a lot more refined and a lot more of a capable GT luxury car. It really does. You know, just the way it drives. You know, the old car, you would have had so much play in the wheel, and in this one, the steering is actually really impressing me because there really is hardly any play in this wheel, and it's not a terrible wheel either. It's large. I'm not a big fan of this plastic on the bottom of it. I like the way it looks, but just the cheapness of the plastic kind of, yeah, gives it a poor feel. But the steering in general is really spot on. You know, I know exactly where the wheels are, and for being such a large kind of boaty car, it does drive pretty damn well. But now let's get into the 5 questions here, and of course we always start off with sound, so just stepping on it here. And you know, it's not a bad sounding vehicle. You know, it's definitely sounds better from the outside. It would have been nice if they could have added, you know, a bimodal exhaust in here. So if you could have had a button you flicked to open up the valves, that would have been a bit nicer, I think. Now, handling. Well, this car, for being such a large vehicle, does handle itself pretty damn well. This does have a aftermarket set of XB Extreme coilovers fitted, so Unfortunately, it's not what the standard car would have had. But I've got to say, this thing drives really, really well. And again, I keep saying it, the steering's really impressed me with this car. I think the steering, though I would like a little bit more feedback, the steering is actually a lot sharper than I was thinking it was going to be. Now, practicality. Well, this big boy has got a 6.4 liter Hemi V8. So it's not the most practical vehicle out there. You know, this thing makes 13 liters per 100 Ks combined. And, you know, if you're going to put that into real world terms, this particular one is doing 18 liters on average. So she likes to drink. But then again, you don't get a car like this to worry about the fuel bill. Let her drink. But inside this car, you know, you really do get pretty much everything you would like. You know, it's everything is electric. The seats are comfortable. You got a good infotainment system. Bluetooth is in here. You know, basically whatever you want to do, you can do it. Climate control, dual climate control. Yeah, you know, it's got all the bells and whistles you could really want. You've got a large boot in this car. Now, in the back seats, it is a little bit tighter than what you would get in, say, a Falcon or a Commodore. It is surprising, though, because, you know, this thing is a large car. And really, when you stand out next to it, it feels massive. It feels massive in the front seat, though when you are in the rear seat, yeah, your legroom is a little bit compromised, and headroom even if you are a taller person. Now, price. Well, this is where this car really, I think, had a big win, because this Satin edition came out at $60,000. And, you know, I gotta say, for what you got, that was an absolute bargain. To get 465 horsepower from factory for 60 grand, plus all this kind of luxury in here, you know, I think it was a big win. And, you know, I know these cars are reasonably popular. They're not everywhere, but the value for money here, I think, is a big win for Chrysler. And on the used market, you can really grab yourself a bargain with these things. You know, this particular one is for sale right now at Car Giant WA for just under $40,000. It's got 46,000 Ks. Thing basically looks brand new, and that's just a unbelievable bargain, I think. You know, and if you're going to get something, just a regular SRT core, you can get them for like that mid 30,000 mark, you know, and I think that is a real good value. It really is. So this car does have the 5-speed, and yes, it is a bit of a negative, but if you just use this car as basically a cruiser and what it's meant for, it's not really that big of a deal, because this car is such a low revving engine. It kind of just throws you in the top gear anyways, and it does a pretty good job of that in driving smoothly. So, you know, you don't really notice it all that much until you want to start accelerating quickly. And it's when you start doing that, it does kind of fart around and take a little while to get into the right gear. So the 8-speed is a massive improvement, and you know, if you can get an 8-speed, make sure to buy that one. Most people who drive this will say, yeah, this is nice. You know, this is comfortable to drive, and you know, it's quick, and yeah, it's a good car. But it's just got such a weird personality. You know, it's trying to be show-offy. It's trying to be, you know, obviously a loudmouth muscle car, but then at the same time, it's trying to be refined. It's trying to be comfortable. It's trying to be kind of luxurious. And, you know, it's got paddles. It's got these weird, you know, the 5-speed auto. It's trying to do a lot and be a lot of different things. And it's just kind of a lost car, if that's the right word for it. It's not a bad car. It's just, you find yourself kind of scratching your head to who the main buyer would really be. But at the end of the day, when you got 465 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque under your right foot, man, from factory, it makes for a pretty damn good car. Now we might as well jump into the speed section here. So there isn't, unfortunately, any launch control features of that I've found, but the timers will time the 0 to 100 for us. So we're just going to launch this. So we've got the cameras here. Basically, you just have it stopped, flat foot this car, and it will do the time for us. So in sport mode, make sure we're in sport mode. We are. And timers, current. All right, we are ready to go. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, we had a bit too much power there. And as you can see, it's actually saying eco mode. Well, we just did a launch. Well, we're in sports mode. How retarded is that? Well, anyway, let's do that again. Now that the tires are a bit warmed up. I'm not going to hold it. I'm just going to flat foot it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That was better. .6. So we got 5.6 seconds there. It did actually start to wander part way in between, just before it changed it a second there, I was noticed. But yeah, 5.6 seconds it says. I did before, when I was doing another launch, just testing it out, I did manage to get 5.5. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any better than that today, but this is claimed at 4.8 seconds. And, you know, I probably reckon if you had the right circumstances and you're on the right road, I reckon it would do it. I really do. Now, I do got to say a massive thank you to Car Giant WA for allowing me to take out this SRT. This thing is actually for sale right now. If anyone is interested, a link is in the description. So we did determine that this is a big, comfortable car. We did determine this is a fast car. So by that logic, Australia, you gotta love it. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Do you guys actually like this car? Do you think, nah, leave it for the Americans? Or do you say, yeah, this is a proper fun sedan? I think it's a proper fun sedan. This big 6.4 liter V8, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, you know, the right tuning, the right modifications on it, you know, this is a serious car. So on that note, I am going to finish the video off here today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, please remember to hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we'll see you on that next video.